Hi everyone, my name is Rick and I welcome you back to my channel. My channel is basically about my garden and Hoyas. So if you're into gardens and Hoyas and aeroids and orchids, please subscribe. I appreciate that. So today I'm going to take you around the garden. I'm going to show you some things, and then I'm going to pull 10 Hoyas that I have in the greenhouse. They're pretty rare, so I want to share those with you. Also progression on the seed pods. They're getting pretty big, and pretty soon I'll have plenty of seeds. So please stick around. I hope you enjoy it. So it is Saturday the 23rd of April, and I decided to shoot on Saturday and post on Sunday morning, because usually Sunday mornings I'm kind of tired, especially if I've gone out the night before, and to get up early on Sunday, it was just getting a little too much to deal with all that. So I'm gonna start shooting on Saturday afternoons and posting on Sunday mornings. I think it'll work much better and I won't be half asleep. So let's see here. There's a lot of stuff going on. Let me show you another big bloom on AH0001. It's actually a really pretty carnosa flower. These are pretty big flowers. As you can see, this umbel is a good size and it's pretty fragrant. And the leaves on this guy are always super cool looking. And this is the second time it's bloomed for me here in this location, so it's pretty happy. And over here in this corner we have a sunrise that is going to bloom soon. She's getting red up there where she gets more sun, but she actually originates in this pot over here. And she is pretty happy, putting out a lot of new growth. My EPC 620 is going to bloom again, and I'll show you the cross with candy cane with this EPC 620. And this seed pod is actually a lot thicker than most Hoya seed pods I've seen. Yeah, the interesting thing about Hoya seed pods is that they are, you know, they vary from species to species, and I guess from cross to cross, they look different. So it's always interesting to see them as they develop. Some can be as long as like 9-10 inches long. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that I don't even know is going on. Oh, there's a peduncle here on my Wilbur Graves from China, they call it. And it's gonna bloom there. And this is Hoya Kiki, a Michael Bernardo cross. She always blooms, when it starts blooming, she blooms all summer long in this location. Yeah, it's getting a little crowded here and I have to sort and untangle a lot of these plants, but they're all in the middle of doing something. Like this big Phalaenopsis is gonna bloom, and then there's all kinds of stuff going on. And yeah, so, but eventually I'm gonna have to straighten out this whole area. There's just too much. Maybe just trim down a little bit and start new plants. So over here, I actually have this occultata that it's the first time in a while that it doesn't have a bloom going on, but it has a peduncle, should be blooming soon, and it's putting out new growth, so that's always nice. And back over here, this is, I got this as a cutting from Australia, from David Little. It's IML 1886. It wasn't in his catalog, but I asked him for stuff that he didn't have in his catalog, so he sent me a whole bunch of things, and this was one of them. And he put with a question mark after it, a Finis Hoya bicolor. So this is some type of Hoya bicolor. It's really really stunning yellow. Really cool looking flower, and it smells really pleasant. The leaves are somewhat incrusata looking. But yeah, it's definitely a really nice, easy Hoya to grow. Over here I have a Stenophylla. I got this about a month ago from Thailand, and it's putting out new growth. And this is the AH0001. This really big ripply leaf. As you can see, it's bigger than my hand. Decided to flower, and here are the blooms. Not really that exciting. I think most people would grow this one for the leaves. Another AH that's getting ready to bloom is this AH73. You can see the leaf is really cool on this. It's a really nice dark margin. And over here I have this Hoya. It's RHM 2054, and this is a sister seedling to a Hoya I named about 2 weeks ago called Candy Crush. And Candy Crush and most of the other seedlings from that seed pod had like a mostly pink purple flower with a very red center corona. And then I thought all of them were going to come out like that, and this one was the last one to bloom out of the 8 seedlings I kept. And as you can see, it looks totally different than all the others, so I find it really appealing. It's really fragrant, and the leaf is actually pretty nice. Let me see if I can show you one. And it is a cross of Hoya Purpura Fusca with RHM1, so it does have that verticillata scent, which makes it really pleasant. And the color is really exquisite. It's like this, a little bit of green tinge to it. So it's a really beautiful flower. I'm excited. And back here I have a Vitellinoides that's getting ready to bloom. Again, you bloom this one for the, you keep this Hoya for the leaves because they're always so exciting and veiny and big. And over here is a Hoya Colonel Meekins, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from because it's traveled. I'll show you. It's actually hung on the other side of the tree over there, and that vine is probably 10 feet long where it's blooming. So yeah, when Hoyas are allowed to just go wild and climb, usually you get blooms quicker because they usually put out the flower spikes out of the long runners before they even fill in with leaves. Oh, I just noticed this guy here. This is one of the Postophilus, I believe. And the name is actually a Finwarsonii sucring from AH Hoyas. It's one of my favorite Finwarsonii types. The leaves are really, really big, so you can see. And it's gonna bloom. Can't beat that. So back here, there's a couple of other seed pods. I'll show you the Cagaensis mandarensis cross. It's probably another week or two before those seed pods open. And I wanted to show you the new leaf on my Monstera Thai constellation over here. It's really striking. I make sure I don't break it. But here it is. Really pretty. My plan for her is to bring her closer to this palm tree and have it climb alongside the Adansonii up there. So because these monsteras do like to climb and the leaves get really big if you allow them to do that. So yeah, not much going on. If you see in my last video, there's a lot of cattleya just continuing to bloom. I brought out some Hoyas. I think I showed on last video there from the greenhouse. Like this pollinator brigette is doing really well there. And this is a pendurata from Vietnam. It's putting out all this new growth out here. And my big Surisana likes the spot. And then I have a Jopi, philodendron Jopi up there, big one. So yeah, let me just show you a couple of orchids over here. And then I'm going into the greenhouse and get you some really cool. You know, this guy I found on my potting bench, underneath my potting bench, and I looked for a tag and I couldn't find it. So if anyone knows this bulbophyllum, it's quite beautiful. The scent is a little nauseating, but the flowers do make up for it. And there's quite a few in here. There's another flower there, and there's, I think, another couple of buds in there. So this is pretty cool. Love the flower shape and the coloring on this bulbophyllum. And that's about it. So let me go into the greenhouse and get some Hoyas to show you. And over here, this is Hoya amicabilis. I think I'm saying it wrong. I'll spell it out on the screen. But the flowers are really, really cool. I don't know if I'll be able to do it justice focusing on them. They're kind of difficult to focus on them. So, but they're really cute, and someone said they smell like tiger balm, but to me they don't smell like much of anything. But it's cute little bell-shaped flowers. Let's see if I can focus on them again. And yeah, you can see how adorable they are. And one of the things about them is that these flowers are actually a week old tomorrow. So they are, they last pretty long for a Hoya. So I don't know how long they last, but it's been a week and they still look pretty good. And over here is Hoya CV Elephant AH0001, I believe. And you can see it is a pretty happy plant because it's growing pretty rapidly and putting out some nice vine. So that tells you that the plant is happy and it likes where it's at. So yeah, I've seen the popularity of this Hoya gone up quite a bit. I get a lot of requests for it, and it's apparently hard to get, and you can pay a pretty penny for it. So I'm really happy to have gotten one. And as you can see, this Hoya is very waffly, and the leaves, this leaf is actually really thick, and it gets a really nice edge to it. So it's definitely a foliage lover plant. So I have no clue what the flowers look like, but if you don't have this Hoya and you like this kind of leaf, it's definitely a really nice Hoya to have. Hoya CV Elephant. And here is Hoya AH0001. See if I can focus and do justice to this leaf. See if I take it out of the sun a little bit. You can see it is veiny and really splashy, and it has a nice point there. I don't think this has been around in circulation for a long time. I got this about 3 weeks ago from Hoyas, and it's already putting out a nice growth point. And it's super, I'm really super excited about this one. This Hoya has everything from leaf size to splash and to veining, and it seems like it's relatively easy to grow. It had some blemishes, but sometimes these Phomosonii types, like they'll get these blemishes. You spray it with a little Phizan, and that kind of like stops the damage, and the new leaves look totally fine. So Hoya AH00, oh, dropping it. AH0001. And I wanted to show you guys my Hoya species from Bintulu, Borneo. It's a verticillata type Hoya, but it has really nice growing pattern, and the leaves get really veiny, and they're pretty thick when they mature. It's a very fast growing verticillata type Hoya, and it comes with an IML of 1646. It's really an easy grower, a really nice plant. It's kind of compact for a verticillata type Hoya, so I really enjoy growing it. I've had this Hoya for over, not this particular plant, this is a new plant that I started last year, but I've been growing this Hoya for about 17 years, and I always find it easy and rewarding. So. And this guy over here is a super rare Hoya hybrid from the one and only Cerisa, and it has a peduncle. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a cross of Sigillatus Alice River and Hoya suolesiana, the really long, big leafed Hoya. I'm not completely sure. I'll have to check with her, but yeah, it's really exciting. I can't wait to see it bloom, hopefully this summer. And I will keep you up on the name of the parents on this as I find out. But I just was excited to share it with you guys. I've had this plant, I think this is 2-3 weeks now. So yeah, definitely a collector's piece right here. I'm so excited. And this is Hoya nuttiana, probably one of the rarest plants I have in my garden. There is not much online about it. I know it comes from Sarawak. Actually, this leaf that I'm touching here is it's pretty thick. It looked like a very thin leaf Hoya, but these get to be like you know, construction paper thickness. Is pretty stiff as well. And it's putting out some nice new growths. Since I've moved it a little bit, it was maybe not getting enough sun, so I moved it up to the top of the greenhouse, and it seems to like that, and it's putting out new growth. Yeah, apparently this Hoya has a very unique flower that's not like any other Hoya. The coronas are a little different. There's some diagrams online, but that's about it. You're not going to see a lot of about this Hoya online. I think Cerisa has a picture of the flowers, and that's who I got this Hoya from. So I am really pleased that it's finally doing well for me, and hopefully I'll get to bloom it. I'll be pretty excited about it. I have it in palm, and it has some leca at the bottom, so there's always water in the reservoir, that cup, so it never dries out completely. And yeah, Hoya nuttiana. And Swiffer finally came out. She was napping pretty much all day, and she decided to come out and play this time. And these here came from LeavesImpression. I'll leave their Etsy shop below in the description. They're from Texas, and they sent me these, and they're super cute. They're MA. I think they're hybrids, maybe from the same seed pod. I'm not sure, but they're really super cute. They're pretty. This one is pretty veiny and teardrop shape, about the size of a quarter. Yeah, they're about all the same size leaves. I don't know if they stay this small, but they're pretty cute. This one has a little bit of a dark edge, and this one doesn't have a dark edge, but and it's less textured. Make sure I don't knock them over. And this is a Hoya MA7, and this one is the one that you probably have seen in the Hoya groups and on sales pages. It's super adorable. The leaf is really small, very textured and like teardrop and dark edged. And that's very desirable qualities in a Hoya these days. And the last Hoya I have for you today, I really love this Hoya. I don't know what the flowers look like, but I got this as Hoya species Vietnam, and look at these edges. This is new growth, and as you can see, that I call it the Hoya species Vietnam wavy leaf, because all the leaves get like this really nice wavy edge to them. It's really cool looking, and as a mature leaf, keeps the waviness, and it's really a gorgeous foliage plant. So if you haven't gotten one of these, it seems to be pretty popular. I sell it every time I post it, and people really love it. So yeah, so if you haven't been to my Facebook group or my Instagram, all that information and link is in the description. So if you'd like to check out more about Hoyas and Hoyas for sale and all that, check out my link page there. So yeah, that's Hoya species Vietnam, and that's going to be it for today. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and I hope to see you next week. So be well, take care.